There is a war happening inside of you right now, and the strangest part, you are fighting the one who is trying to help you. Most believers do not realize they are resisting God. They think they are waiting on God. They think they are being patient. But the truth is, God already spoke. He already moved. He already gave the instruction. And you are still standing at the edge, holding back, gripping control, saying, "Not yet," to the one who sees your entire future. And here is what nobody tells you. The longer you resist, the longer the pain lasts. The confusion, the stagnation, the feeling of being stuck. It is not always an attack from the enemy. Sometimes it is the friction of resisting the very God who is trying to move you forward. But something remarkable happens the moment you stop fighting, the moment you finally let go, truly let go. 7 things begin to shift in your life almost immediately. And number 5 will surprise you. It is the one thing most Christians never expect God to do the moment they surrender. Let me give you context before we begin. James 4:7 says, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Most people quote the second half, "Resist the devil," but they skip the first half, "Submit to God." You cannot resist the devil effectively while you are still resisting God. Submission comes first. Everything else follows. And Romans 12:1-2, "Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Notice the word, transformed, not improved, not adjusted, transformed. But transformation only begins after the offering, after the surrender. God does not force transformation on people who are still gripping the steering wheel. So the question is, what actually happens when you finally release your grip? Here are 7 things. Number 1, and this is the first thing every person who surrenders notices. The war inside of you goes quiet. The anxiety that had no name, gone. The constant overthinking, the tug of war between what you want and what God is asking, it stops. Not because the situation changed, but because you stopped fighting it. Think about Jacob. He wrestled with God all night, hours of struggle, exhaustion, pain, and it did not end until Jacob stopped fighting and said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Genesis 32:26. The moment Jacob stopped resisting and started clinging, God blessed him, changed his name, changed his identity, changed his future. But none of it happened while he was wrestling. The peace you have been begging God for, it may not require a miracle. It may only require your surrender. The war ends when you stop being God's opponent and start being his servant. You were never meant to fight him. You were meant to follow him. Number 2, you have been pushing doors, forcing things, trying to make opportunities happen in your own strength, and nothing has worked. The doors stayed shut, no matter how hard you pushed. But here is what you did not realize. Some doors do not respond to force. They respond to surrender. God keeps certain doors locked until your posture changes, because what is behind the door would destroy you if you entered it in your current state. Think about Jonah. God opened the door to Nineveh. Jonah ran the opposite direction, and every door after that, the ship, the escape, the plan B, all shut violently. Storm, ocean, fish, 3 days of darkness. But the moment Jonah surrendered, Jonah 2:9, "What I have vowed I will make good. I will say, salvation comes from the Lord." The fish released him. The door to Nineveh opened again. The assignment returned. The doors were never locked because God forgot you. They were locked because you were running. The moment you turn and face what he asked, watch what opens. Number 3, you have been asking God for direction, for clarity, for a sign, and heaven has felt silent. But what if the silence was not God ignoring you, but God waiting for you to stop arguing with the last thing he said? God rarely gives instruction number 2 while you are still debating instruction number 1. He speaks, and then he waits, not because he is distant, but because obedience to the current word is the doorway to the next word. 1 Samuel 3:10, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Samuel did not say, "Speak, Lord, and I will decide if I agree." He said, "I am listening." Open posture, ready hands, no conditions. When you stop resisting, when your posture shifts from "convince me" to "I am listening," God's voice does not get louder. Your ears get clearer. The noise of your own resistance was drowning out His voice all along. If you feel like God has gone silent, ask yourself honestly, is He quiet, or am I just not willing to hear what He already said? Number 4. This one shocks people. The spiritual attacks decrease. The temptations that haunted you begin to lose their grip. The oppression lifts, and you wonder why. Go back to James 4:7, the full verse, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." The order matters. Submit first, then resist. Most Christians try to resist the devil while still resisting God, and they wonder why the enemy does not flee. The enemy does not flee from your prayers alone. He flees from a submitted life. Because a person fully surrendered to God is the most dangerous weapon in the kingdom. The devil is not afraid of your fasting. He is not afraid of your church attendance. He is afraid of a believer who has nothing left to lose because they gave everything to God. When you stop resisting God, the enemy recognizes the shift. He knows that a person in full surrender carries authority he cannot match. And he retreats, not because you got stronger, but because you finally got out of God's way and let Him fight for you. Number 5. And this is the one most people never expect. The very thing you were gripping, the thing you refused to let go of, God gives it back, but not the way you had it. Better, multiplied, transformed. This is the pattern of God. He asks you to lay it down, not because He wants to take it from you, but because He wants to give you a version of it that your hands were too tight to receive. Abraham laid Isaac on the altar. He surrendered his only son, the thing he loved most, the thing God promised him. And what happened? God gave Isaac back, alive. But more than that, Genesis 22:17, "I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore." The surrender unlocked multiplication, not loss, multiplication. What are you gripping right now? A relationship, a plan, a timeline, a career? Whatever God is asking you to release, it is not because He wants to leave you empty. It is because your closed fist cannot receive what His open hand is offering, and what He is offering is bigger than what you are holding. Let it go. Watch what comes back. Number 6. When you stop resisting God, the people around you respond differently. Some draw closer, some pull away, and both are necessary. The people who were only in your life because of your rebellion, they become uncomfortable around your surrender. They cannot follow where you are going because they are not willing to go where God is taking you, and they drift. But new people appear, kingdom-aligned people, people who sharpen you, pray for you, challenge you in love, connections that were waiting for your obedience before God released them into your life. Proverbs 16:7. When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, He causes their enemies to make peace with them. Even enemies shift when your posture changes. Relationships that were contentious begin to settle. People who misunderstood you start to see you differently, not because you explained yourself better, but because the anointing on a surrendered life speaks louder than any defense. Your relationships are not random. They are a reflection of your spiritual posture. Change the posture. Watch the circle change. Number 7. The final thing. And for many of you, this is the one you need most. You have been exhausted, running on empty, trying to hold everything together with your own 2 hands, and you are breaking under the weight. You were never designed to carry what you are carrying. But the moment you surrender, a strength arrives that is not yours, an energy that does not come from sleep, a resilience that does not come from willpower. Something holds you up that you cannot explain. Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Renew, not manufacture, not self-generate. Renew. It comes from outside of you. It comes from surrender, from finally admitting, I cannot do this alone, And the moment you say that with a genuine heart, God's strength replaces yours. Paul understood this. 2 Corinthians 12:10. When I am weak, then I am strong. It sounds like a contradiction until you have lived it. Surrender feels like weakness, but it is the doorway to a strength you could never produce on your own. The strongest Christians are not the ones who try harder. They are the ones who surrender deeper. I want to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself. What are you resisting right now? What instruction did God give you that you are still negotiating with? What has He asked you to release that you are still gripping? Where did He say go, but you said not yet? Because here is the truth. Every single thing I just described, the peace, the open doors, the clarity, the enemy fleeing, the multiplication, the relationships, the supernatural strength, all of it is waiting on the other side of one decision. Surrender, not perfection, not having all the answers, not feeling ready, just surrender. Just, God, I am done fighting you. I am yours. Whatever you say, wherever you lead, however it looks, I am done resisting. That prayer, prayed genuinely, changes everything. If this convicted you, subscribe. This channel gives you practical biblical wisdom every week to help you recognize what God is doing in your life and how to respond. Share this with someone who is fighting a battle they were never meant to fight, the battle against their own blessing.